pleased to call to order the regular meeting of the West Valley City Council and let the roll call show that all members of the council are present today. And we have Councilmember Corey Rushton who will be giving our opening ceremony.
Thank you, Mayor. Those of you that are just joining us, we just came from a little reception celebrating the work of Mayor Winder and the Historical Society on a new book, photos reflecting back on the history of this area in West Valley City. So with that, we've had many visitors come in today, and I thought it'd be appropriate for our opening ceremony if we call our senior statesman, former Mayor Maloney, up to the microphone here and see if he has any reflections to offer to us, and then if you would all rise, and Mayor Maloney will lead us in a Pledge of Allegiance to start this meeting. So turn it over to Mayor Maloney, and thank you for being here.
Thank you. Let the audience please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Mayor Anderson, before you leave, we also just want to acknowledge the presence of our other past mayor with us, Mayor Brent Anderson, who's also been here for this reception. And as senior as he is, he's not as senior as Mayor Maloney, so that's why he got to do the pledge, right? But great to have you both with us, mayors.
We bonded so well at City Council that we moved across the street from each other in the region.
That's great.
I've been there for, 13 years, and he's been there 15.
Well, you're always welcome back here, Mayor. Thanks for coming. We can carpool together, isn't that works out well. Well, thank you, Councilmember Rushton. And item 4 is our special recognitions, and we kind of did that a little bit with the opening ceremony, which worked out well. We have the minutes of June 5th for our consideration tonight.
I'd like to move for approval of the minutes of the June 5th, 2012 meeting.
Second.
Okay, thank you both. Any comments on the minutes? All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. Minutes are approved. We now have a special Employee of the Month award presentation, and making that on our behalf tonight is Councilmember Steve Bueller.
Thank you, Mayor. The Employee of the Month is Kevin Condi. Where are you, Kevin? Oh, there you are. And see, you've got your family with you, and I won't make you stand up just because I like you, but we'll let you. Oh, go ahead. Okay.
Oh, I thought you said make you stand
up. Well, I will now.
Okay.
Kevin, we need to rehearse this.
That's true. I passed the memo.
I'm going to read this commendation. The nomination was made by Aaron Krim. Ask any West Valley City employee who Kevin Condi is, and they'll probably say, he's the guy who knows everyone and hooks us up with sponsorships and donations. Or he's the pin man, or he designs the float, right? Or he's Mr. Westfest, or he's the guy who's always taking my picture. Photographer, float designer, brand ambassador, city enthusiast, sponsorship liaison, pin man, sticker getter, banner hanger, event planner, shovel painter. The list of Kevin's unofficial job titles is infinite. He is ubiquitous. If there is something going on in West Valley City, count on him being involved, sometimes quietly tucked away, secretly taking pictures, oftentimes in the middle of the action. Kevin makes things happen that others can't. He knows just about everyone and is not afraid to leverage his relationships to benefit the city. If you ask for a picture, you'll get 20. If you need a case of water, you'll get 10. If you want a banner, plan for a dozen. If you have a great idea but aren't sure how to make it happen, Kevin has probably already been there, done that, or knows someone who can help. I challenge anyone to give me an example of a time Kevin said no to a request. Whether he's responding to a police or fire incident at 3 in the morning or waiting for the perfect shot at 9 at night, he follows through with a smile on his face. No request is too early, too late, or outside of his realm of responsibility. Unless he's in Hawaii, he's on the job. As Kevin's friend and colleague, and as the victim of many candid photos and bald head from above shots, it is my honor to nominate him as West Valley City's Employee of the Month. picture?
Yes, I think I know how this went.
Kevin, he's serious.
We're ready. Remember who can delete it. I won't though. This is very nice. Thank you.
I'll give it to the archives.
Thanks, sir.
And when you're done shaking everybody's hand, let's have you introduce us to your family and sponsorships that are here.
My sponsorship, that's good. Thank you. Almost not getting one. Thank you. And I just got to say, my job couldn't happen without these people back here and these people up front. They're your resource. You guys are all the resource to make things happen. So thank you very much. And my boss. My wife, Margene, which you probably know. I've got my grandson, James Kevin. I've got my granddaughter, Emma. I've got my granddaughter, Gracie. I've got my grandson, Maxwell Timothy. I've got my daughter, Lizzie. Oh, Lizzie, I didn't forget your name. I'm just trying to remember who's next. And Petey Becker studying. And another namesake, Taylor Kevin, and his friend Abby. Did I get everybody?
You did.
All right. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
That was very nice. Thank you, Aaron, and thank you, EAC.
Mayor, just one comment.
Just watch it on
I
the
think it's
camera.
good to finally know what his real name is. I thought it was Mr. Margene.
And I'm proud to be Mr. Margene.
A man of many hats and many names. And Aaron, I must say, it's hard to capture Kevin Condi's essence, but that was a very well-written nomination and
That
did
was
so
amazing.
appropriately. We want to recognize at this time the Scout group that has just joined us. Welcome, Scouts. Is there a youth? Is there one of the boys who'd like to come to the microphone and tell us your troop number and what badge you're working on tonight?
Hello, our troop is 1197 and we're working on the community citizenship and
What school do you live by?
we're by Kennedy and Hunter.
Okay. Can you tell me your name?
Kaylin Fernandez.
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. We appreciate you Scouts joining us today. Our next ceremony is we have an Essential Peace Award, a very rare award we give on very special circumstances. And Councilmember Tom Hune will be making this presentation on our behalf this evening. Councilor?
Thank you, Mayor. Just, as Mayor Winder just says, it's very special to us tonight. I'm very honored to read this for you. So please, honest Shane, can you stand up, please? You don't mind you? Okay. The West Valley City Youth Council Mayor Honest Scene has been named a 2012 Gates Millennium Scholar. Honor is one of 5 students in Utah and one of 1,000 nationally to be awarded a scholarship through the Gates Millennium Scholars Program. The Good Through Graduation Scholarship will provide honor with financial support, leadership development opportunities, mentoring, and academic and social support throughout his academic career. The Gates Millennium Scholars Program will potentially pay for honors graduate level education as he strives to attain a doctorate in biomedical engineering. Anand will graduate from Granger High School with high honors as salutatorian and a 4-point GPA. He was the Sterling Scholar for Ranger High School in Social Sciences and served as a senior class officer and as the West Valley City Youth Council Mayor. Anand also participated in Key Club and Boys State. Anand plans to attend the University of Utah for a year before transferring to Johns Hopkins University, Stanford University, Harvard University, or Yale University. Besides his academic endeavors, Anand has played a significant part in revitalizing the Westwood City Youth Council over the past 3 years. He has recruited numerous youth council members and has demonstrated leadership in helping the youth council plan and executive service projects, including picking up litter in city parks, organizing a youth forum on teen financial fitness, participating and volunteering for the Westwood City Giving Tree program, and is currently helping organize the Youth Council Relay for Life team, among other efforts. Although Anand is finishing his time with the Youth Council, he has been active in recruiting new members for the Youth Council. He continues to demonstrate leadership and strives to be an active member in our community. Anand's academic efforts and his service to the community over the past 3 years as a Youth Council member and as Youth Council Mayor warrant recognition as an essential piece of our community. Thank you. You want to tell your mom and introduce your mom and your sister then?
Oh, yes. This is my family. Well, my dad and my older sister are at work right now. But this is my mom. This is my younger sister, Daisy Singh. And this is my older sister, Dinah Singh, who was also on the West Valley City Youth Council for 3 years.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, and best of luck, and continue to make our city proud, and we appreciate your association in so many ways in our community. So thanks again, Anand. And because we think so much of you, feel no obligation to stay for the rest of the meeting. You can go party. Item 7 tonight is our comment period. And we've had one resident sign up to speak in our comment period, Mr. Mike Markham.
Hey, Mike Markham, 3008 Alice Circle. She's got it. I just wanted to comment on the issue that was brought up at the study meeting today about changing the setbacks to the basement entrances. The only thing that's going to do is encourage basement entrances in our neighborhoods of single-family dwelling homes, that people are turning them into multiple-family dwelling homes. They're going to be able to build nice, elegant entrances to their apartment in the basement. I think that's something we need to look at. You know, it's nice that we're going to allow this, but we need to be careful what we're walking into here, because I don't think we need apartments in single-family dwelling neighborhoods. They don't add onto the parking when they put an apartment in the basement. They just park more cars on the street. The rest of the people can't deal with the streets as it is now when they're loaded with vehicles. You know, they keep the same garbage can. They just stack the garbage higher. So before you start thinking we can put really nice basement entrances into these single-family dwelling homes, maybe we need to, you know, put some basement apartments on Winter Lane and a few things like that that's not allowed. See what some of us are up against. There's one up on the corner of, I believe it's 2700 West, and they call it the American Express cut-through, which I believe is Regine. They've gone in, they turned to put an apartment in the basement there, and they have a very nice outside entrance, which I talked to Court Enforcement about. There's really nothing we can do about it once they get established, because we don't want to make them fill that cement hole in like she acknowledged. But I think we need to really start putting some bites on some of these things, or we're just going to end up with the neighborhoods of multiple family dwellings. We're going to have neighborhoods that you can just squeeze as many people in as you possibly can, and it's not going to increase the property tax, it's just going to increase the crime level. You have twice as many people, you have twice as many problems. So keep in mind when you want them to build those 4-foot entrances into their basement. Because if I have a 9-foot side yard, they only have to be within 2 feet of the fence. That's a pretty nice entrance into your basement apartment. So kind of keep some of those things in mind. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Markham. We now move to item 8 this evening, which is regarding ordinance 12-28, and we will have a public hearing with this. Mr. Pyle, if you could please introduce this application and ordinance.
Thank you, sir. This public hearing is for the purpose of receiving public input on a ordinance change, that we're considering, as you mentioned, and this is under Title 7 of our Land Use and Development section. And basically what it would do is make a minor change to our side yard setback consideration. Whereas currently there's a exception for single-family homes built prior to 1990 on their side yard setback for garages that shortens the normal side yard setback. Normally it's 10 feet. The exception shortens it to 4 feet for a garage. The ordinance as it's proposed would also allow a similar encroachment for those homes built before that date with carports. It's not quite as close, 5 feet instead of the 4, but it was also considered to allow a little bit more flexibility for building under the change if the council were to adopt it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. City Manager. I now open the public hearing regarding Ordinance 12-28. Is there anyone who's come to speak on this matter today? Seeing no one, I close the public hearing. And Council, what's your pleasure regarding this ordinance?
Mayor, just make a comment. I think where we have a lot of homes that were built in the late 70s and early 80s, where many of them don't even have a garage or a carport, and this allows an opportunity for these homes to be able to add that carport without worrying about how small it might squeeze the side of their setbacks there. And I think the homes that were built in that time period, there isn't a lot of side yard setbacks. So I think this is a good change that will allow these people to at least provide a place to cover their vehicles. I'll move for approval of Ordinance 1228.
Thank you. Thank you. Any discussion to this ordinance? To this motion, I should say. Okay, all in favor of approving 1228, say aye.
Aye.
That appears to be unanimous. Mr. Pyle, please introduce Resolution 12-94.
Thank you, sir. This resolution would formally put the city in a position philosophically of setting aside land and seed money for the construction of a skate park in Centennial Park. As I've visited and worked with Mr. Schwerman Josh, as you know, when he comes to speak with us fairly regularly, and I know we've got some representatives here of that group that's interested in getting a skate park here tonight.
We gave that away.
Yes, which I have to say I really like the shirt. It's pretty cool. But I digress. So Josh and I met and we talked about various ways to move this project along, and one of the ways we thought that could help in their efforts to go and raise further money, because of course money is always the issue, if the city could provide some encouragement from their part formally, maybe that would help that effort. Josh is convinced that they have good possibilities from a corporate sponsor standpoint to be able to raise money for actual construction on the park. I felt like the council was at least willing to consider the situation where we could say through a resolution, yes, we have a place that we'd like to designate for the building of a park, and we'd also would be able to designate some minor level of funding towards the construction of the park. My idea from that standpoint was that this $100,000 that we're talking about in the resolution would not, from an accounting function, be set aside necessarily in a specific line item, but within the Capital Improvement Projects Fund, as you know, that always has money in it that circulates through for various projects, and it's a pretty large and substantial amount, and $100,000 would not be hard to come up with out of that fund if we had the opportunity and a real project came available in terms of constructing the skate park. So that's how we've structured the idea. This resolution would philosophically basically commit the council to construction of that park, both from a land location standpoint and a little bit of money towards it.
Okay, thank you. Council members, anyone like to make a motion on 1294?
Mayor, I would move approval of Resolution 1294.
Second.
Thank you both. Any discussion to that motion? Mr. Vinson?
Mayor, as we discussed this last week in the study meeting, was just brought up that perhaps we look at all, I mean, we're talking about Centennial Park, but making maybe a further study as to where at Centennial Park that would be, whether it is actually right along 56 West or whether it's somewhere else on the property. I think we'd like to at least have that discussion at some point.
Absolutely.
Okay, good comment. Other comments? Okay, we're excited. This has been talked about for a very long time, and we're not there yet, but this is a big step forward. And so we're pleased to have that. And with that, I call the question. All in favor of approving 1294 to set aside the land and a bit of money for the skate park, say aye.
Aye.
It appears enthusiastically unanimous, so congratulations to those with an interest in that. And we look forward to seeing how that project progresses in the time ahead. We have a consent agenda this evening, a few resolutions of various and sundry items. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion there?
Mayor, I would move approval of the 5 items of the consent agenda.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
The consent agenda is approved. We come to item 11 tonight, which is a motion for an executive session. Is there anyone who would like to make a motion for an executive session this evening?
Mayor, I move that we convene into executive session to discuss professional competency.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of going into executive session for the purpose of discussing employee competency, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous. We'll go into executive session, which means we take a little break from the regular meeting and change seats a bit. So thank you those who came, and this ends the public part of our meeting.